was the marathon today, guys?
If you watch the video, you can find out. It was good. We did end up chatting about like all our year's plan and what we want to do and achieve with our running. Damn it would have been a 4-hour marathon. Speaking of plans,
I've signed up to a gym, so I'm gonna do some spinning and gym and stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully whenever you guys do cool location runs, I can do a 10K or a half marathon or something like that. So yeah, so I'm turning 30 this year, obviously. So in May, so my idea is to get as fit as I possibly can by 30. Yeah. Running's overrated.
So I'm already struggling with cramp this morning, which is not ideal. One of the big issues that I am having is that I haven't got my diet quite right. I had a big meal last night, had a bit to drink, which is definitely not what I should be doing before a marathon. We've got the ultra at the end of the month, which I think I'm going to spend the whole of January having a dry January. I find it quite difficult to say no to a drink when someone else is having. I don't get drunk, but it's hard not to have a beer or two every evening. This is my first actual marathon distance. My first ever race was an ultra. I've done no other races, just training for the year. And I've got another ultra coming up. What's on is a bit of a joke, as I'm only going to do ultras. That seems a bit stupid now. So as I said, pretty much my whole year, last year to this year, was run in Botswana. I think I did probably 80-90% of my runs there. And the biggest problem I had is dealing with like 30-40 degree heat. So one of my biggest excitements is to be in England, where it's cool, where I've got goosebumps, and that is just lovely. It makes running so much easier. Although my body's not used to the temperature differences, so I do worry a little bit about our Devon Ultra that it's not going to be right by the sea. 25th of Jan, which is probably the coldest time. Devon is notoriously rainy. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a test.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne?
So, my good friend William, he's just moved here from Botswana. You probably know that by now because he goes on about it enough. Well, there's one race he's really wanted to do, and that's the Salt Pans Ultra Marathon in Botswana. What's the Salt Pans? Just the Salt Pans. And I wasn't too keen on the idea at first. And then the more I ran, the more I felt like, yeah, 100k, I can do that in 40 degree heat. Oh, only 30 degree heat. See, the problem I have though with that is it's about 6 degrees. I'm wearing a jacket and I'm sweating. As a result of this manic decision to run 100k in a heat wave, I've convinced Will that we should do another 100k somewhere in between the 54 kilometer in Devon and eventual Salt Pans race, just so we can at least cover the distance in a cooler climate and know that physically we can do it. I don't know if it's a good idea, but having that confidence to know I can run 100k just leaves me with whether or not I can do it. in the heat and the climate that I'm really not used to. Hopefully, I'll see you all next year, next New Year. If not, I'm sure I had fun along the way.
So while Glenn's being slightly melodramatic about the heat, the race is in September, and September in Botswana, or end of September, can be 30, maybe even 35 degrees centigrade, which is really hot to run a race in. One bonus is it starts at 2 a.m. and it's incredibly flat, so Salt Pans is just completely flat, no elevation. So there's one bonus with that. But even if we're starting at 2 a.m, we expect it's going to take us between 14 and 16 hours. It's the longest we've have ever run. So it is no joke, and both of us won't really be able to heat train. We're not spending the few months before that anywhere hot. Even in Botswana, in June, July, August is hottest it gets to is 15-20 degrees. So our heat training is going to happen in England. So the slight elephant in the room is that we're not actually that fast runners. But that's kind of the point. We didn't start a YouTube channel to show how quickly we can run. We started a YouTube channel to show our journey and to document it and to have something for us to look back on.
And I think we're not at the start of our journey, but we're not even a year in yet. We just sort of made up as we go along. And I think that's the reason why we went for Run Unscripted. We don't know what's next. Yeah, we have plans and we have ambitions. Who knows where we'll be in a year.
As we're running a very slow, likely 6-hour marathon, it's probably a good time to talk about some of our smaller plans for the year, maybe more ambitious, but we both really want to do a sub 2-hour half. I ran a 2-hour and 1 second half about 6 months ago. Heart rate was very high though, but Strava didn't recognize it. Thank you, Strava. And then, if that goes well, we also want to do a sub 4-hour marathon. So 3 ultras next year, a marathon, probably 1 or 2 halves, maybe a few more.
We have 30 seconds off for 2 hours and we haven't hit 15k. Well, we did photographs of bloody long.
Yes, so this is a training run and we do tend to get a little bit distracted when there's the two of us, like my lot. So something else we also do want to show is there's not also just one way of running. So many people chase fast 5Ks or fast marathons. For us this year has been largely focused on getting distances up.
One thing I've learned this year, just do it because you enjoy it. If you want to run a marathon, run a marathon. If you want to run a 5K, run a 5K. If you want to run a 5K, call it a marathon. Run a 5K and call it a marathon. Call it a marathon so that you're happy, you're running, and you're living your best life. And don't get too used to it doesn't happen often.
See my face, that's how shocked I am. But yeah, that's our little motivational speech. Damn it, it would have been a 4-hour marathon, but shit.
Well, I'm going to enjoy this little rest. Thank you, train. What a barrier. Hello, Mum. I must be a bit late for dinner. No, but Mum. Okay. Okay. Got it. Yes. Okay. Love you. See you in a bit. Bye. Yep. Okay. Okay. Bye. That's my mom.
That was a riveting shot.
I missed the opening of the barriers.
It's one of the things that I said that I needed to do more of in the middle of the year after my last ultra, was that I really need to focus on more weight training and diversifying how I'm getting my workouts. And I must admit, I've sort of failed at that a little bit. Whenever I go away on trips, safaris, I always take resistance bands, and that has been great, but obviously it's not huge weight training, but it has been conditioning. But I think, and certainly for the more altitude orientated races, that's going to be a real key to improving. So that is definitely something I need to work on this year, and I think Glenn feels the same way. Glenn, do you feel the same way?
I've come to the realization that I hate weight training, and I've tried it over the years. I've been trying going back and forth to the gym, doing weight, and I hate it. I never last very long. I get into good shape and then I stop going, and it's hard to get back into it. I just don't like being in the gym.
At uni, we both spent a lot of time at the gym, and it never really lasted. We go through phases, and it was great, but we would sort of do 4 to 6 months of really being so passionate about it and working so hard, and then for whatever reason lose interest, take 3, 4, maybe even 5 months off, and then start again. It was this like constant repetition of failure. Whereas for the first time, I think for both of us, we found something that we've stuck to long term because we can see the improvements. So we do need to find a way of doing the weight training, doing the gymming, and making it fun. And I think seeing the improvement in our running might be the key to that.
I did start going to the gym at the start of this training block, and I did see quite a significant improvement. But I haven't been to the gym in 3 months, and maybe that's why I've started to feel a little more tired in the legs on these longer runs. Could be worth something considering. But it is a goal of mine in 2025 to find a way of making the gym work for me.
I think you said a beautiful phrase there of he needs to make the gym work for him. I think people make that mistake so much. They gym because they think they need to, or they set their New Year's resolutions, which is kind of what we're doing now, but then they don't stick to it. So making the gym work for you, making it slot into the right time, making it function for whatever you're doing is definitely the answer.
Some of us walk up hills, some of us run at the same speed.
words about it everywhere. Do you know the origin of how the Milky Way got called the Milky Way, the mythology around it?
I don't.
So Hera, the Greek goddess, well, Zeus' son Heracles, who he had with a mortal wife, he wanted Heracles to have god qualities or mythical abilities, and so he essentially, can we walk while I tell the story? He essentially made Heracles breastfeed off Hera, and she didn't know about it, she was sleeping.
Oh, lovely, lovely story, that.
Yes, and when she woke from her slumber, breast milk shot from her nipple and essentially covered the sky. And the ancient Greek word for milk is galaxias, which essentially makes the galaxy, the Milky Way.
That is absolutely mental. So I just trying to record a piece and I fell over a twig because the floor is a bit soft underfoot. There's a lot of leaves, a lot of twigs. I thought I walked. One thing about running, it's a bit personal, but the one thing about running is I feel it's the one thing that I've done from a physical fitness point of view, and this includes things like cycling and going to the gym. Even walking, it's the one thing that I've never directly linked to weight loss. I was losing weight steadily and I was still, checking in regularly, but one of the things that has slowed over time, depending on my diet, has been weight loss. And I think the whole recording myself for YouTube sort of highlighted the physical or the visual element of how far I still have to go and how far I've come. So at the start of the year I was nearly 7k heavier, so to be ending on a positive note that way is great, but filming myself for YouTube and starting up this channel has really highlighted just how far away from a healthy weight I am. And I think that's the key. It's not to look good, it is to be healthy, it is to run better, it is to do that, and I think that is a big motivation going into 2025 and a more positive reason to focus on my weight and my health in general. The biggest problem I have with that is diet. So I think moving into 2025 as a chef, I think I will look at recipes and blogging recipes and trying to build another website where I can share delicious, nutritious meals that are easy to do, especially after a long run when you don't necessarily feel like cooking. So that's what I want to do on a personal level for 2025. So, one of our more personal goals for the year is that we both have dogs. Glenn's got a year-old puppy called Teddy. You'll definitely see more of the channel. And I've got a 3-year-old dog that has just arrived from Botswana. We brought him all the way here to England. And we both want to run with our dogs. Maybe not doing canicross, but at least doing runs with them and getting them used to that and training them a little bit for that. It should be a fun way to also incorporate family life into running as well. It should be good. The reason we haven't done it so far, Basil, my dog, only just arrived and we were waiting for Glenn's puppy Teddy to be at least a year before we start trying to push that a little bit. We've also both moved house. We found a nice little small place out here in the Cotswolds. It's got a
Small little water fountain. Small enough little cottage for us. But you know, take its comforts. So we've just crossed the 40k mark, only 2k's to go, but it's all uphill. So I think we're probably going to walk the last 2 kilometers. It's been a slower run, but it wasn't meant to be a quick one. It's the last long training run. We're looking forward to having a really nice meal. It is New Year's Eve, so a nice meal, some good drinks, and see what 2025 brings us. So if you enjoyed watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, see ya.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Even though you're probably watching this in the middle of January.
Thank you. One New Year's resolution from everyone.
I don't want to do a single shot this year.
Yeah, bless you.
Find a better best.
Tom?
Find a better husband.
I'll drink tonight.